Metallica's Master of Puppets. This is the sound of four guys in their early 20s angry at everything, but mostly time signatures. It's fast, it's ferocious, it's flawless. Well, except for Lars. But he's there. He's clanking along like a toddler with a pot and a spoon. So strap in, crank up your speakers, prepare for an hour of existential rage, guitar heroics, and one Danish man trying to murder his crash cymbal collection. All right, first up is Battery. Battery kicks off with that delicate little acoustic intro like the calm before a bar fight. It's got this Spanish Western flair as if Clint Eastwood might crest a hill, squint, and mutter, "Who brought the distortion pedal?" And then boom, the chord of doom hits, the drums crash, and that pretty acoustic melody goes full electric like Dylan at Newport. Except this time, everyone's thrilled about it. And then we're off to the races at 200 miles an hour. The band locks into a groove so tight it could crush a rib cage. Lars and Hetfield sync up like they're both possessed by the same caffeine demon, though Lars is still the M. Night Shyamalan of drums. He's full of twists, and none of them good. Kirk Hammett comes roaring in, wah pedal screaming for mercy. He's not just playing solos, he's exercising them out of his body. Say what you will about Metallica, but Kirk always knows when to turn it on. And through it all, the song just pummels forward. Pure aggression, pure obsession, pure speed. And even I have to admit, the double bass at the end from our favorite little Danish drum gremlin, it's pretty damn good. Next up is Master of Puppets. The title track opens with that legendary riff, the one that basically became the national anthem of angry teenagers everywhere at the time. It's big, it's mean, it's smarter than it should be. Every chug and stutter step hit like a steel boot. Metallica wasn't just playing fast anymore, they were building architecture out of riffs. We drop into the verse section where Hetfield starts barking philosophy like a beer-fueled Nietzsche. The song's full of clever breaks, rhythmic switch up, and moments that scream, "Yeah, we practice." There's a reason this is the biggest selling metal album of all time. It's a masterclass in focus and fury and perfectly channeled chaos. And then comes that slowed down, haunting echo, "Master, Master," and it just slows and fades. It's like Satan got a loop pedal or something. And then, just when you think the song is just all doom, the music blooms into this gorgeous, soaring solo. Kirk is painting in light, and Lars is busy ruining it with 37 unnecessary cymbal crashes. But maybe it's like a yin and yang thing, and they're trying to balance each other out. We swing through another tempo change, another riff labyrinth, another sermon for Pastor Hetfield. The whole band sounds on fire, or at least standing very close to a fire. There's another short, blistering solo that somehow makes your blood pressure rise and your eyes tear up. The song takes more left turns than a drunk Tesla, and every one of them lands perfectly. By the end, they found the secret formula for heavy rock. Play like your instruments wronged you, and make sure your drummer almost keeps up. The next track is The Thing That Should Not Be, and we ease back into cinematic territory here. The acoustic guitar from Battery creeps back in like a dusty gunslinger with unfinished business. It's got that same Spanish flair, strumming away like it's about to order a whiskey and start a duel. Then suddenly, the earth splits open, and that sludge-heavy riff drops in like a building collapsing in slow motion. The rhythm is lurching, off-kilter, and absolutely perfect. But then we've got Lars von Krashenstein over here doing his thing, which is apparently hitting every piece of his drum kit at once, just to make sure they're all still there. It's like he's getting paid per cymbal crash. Big ones, little ones, sideways ones. This is a crash course. Then Kirk, the eternal voice of reason in the thunderstorm, steps up with a solo that whines, bends, shreds. There's a middle bridge that gives off a whole lot of Love vibes, the part where it sounds like Robert Plant is trying to hold back a sneeze. We get that, but it's way cooler with Kirk and a whammy bar. We swing back into that thick groaning riff where Hetfield's voice sounds like a man trying to fight a bear. It's dark, it's heavy, and crawling with menace, like Black Sabbath's evil twin. And as the last note fades, Lars, the Phil Reaper, gives us a goodbye crash. That's nice, sweetie. Next up is Welcome Home Sanitarium. Finally, a breather. Well, kind of. This intro is beautiful, with classical style guitar, delicate harmonics ringing like distant wind chimes in a psych ward. It's calm, it's pretty, and you know it won't stay that way long. Hetfield's vocals are controlled, restrained, and for a moment you think, hey, maybe this is a little breather of a song. But then, right around the time of that line, can't they see that's why my brain says rage? Everything detonates. Suddenly, the calm turns into chaos. The verse gives way to full-blown fury, and we're reminded that Metallica doesn't do anything gentle. The chorus thunders in all power chords and righteous anger before pulling back again to let the song breathe. By the halfway point, things get heavy again, and that signature chugga-chugga guitar kicks in, and James is screaming like he's trying to escape his own skull. Lars actually dials it back for a bit, which is a miracle worth noting, in any religion. The finale hits with that big Vegas ending, fireworks, fire, full collapse, and then we're off to war. The next track is Disposable Heroes. This one sounds like it could have been a lost track from Ride the Lightning or Kill 'Em All. And I mean that as a compliment. It's got that early ferocity, that like they were still fueled by cheap beer and anger and the haunting memory of trying to keep up with Dave Mustaine. This riff is classic thrash, all down-picking, clenched fists. The verse barrels forward with mechanical precision, but it's got that raw, hungry energy that sets it apart. And then there's Lars, Count Crashula, filling every little space and gap with unnecessary flourishes like he's afraid of silence. What's wild is how complex these arrangements are. Time changes, stop-start transition, riffs stacked like a Jenga tower. This is Metallica at full gallop, writing songs that sound like war machines learning Rush. And let's talk about this era for a second, because, back then, metal and hard rock or whatever had range. You had Iron Maiden writing 9-minute operas about ancient mariners. You had Megadeth doing calculus and riff form. And across the aisle, you had Poison and Bon Jovi fogging up the entire record store with Aquanet. You can literally see the hairspray hovering over that section. Oh, I forgot to put that on silent. Hang on, let me answer this real quick. Hello? Hey, yeah. Yeah. No, I'm not sure where he got the parts. Yeah. Did the cake survive the explosion? Hang on a second. All right, go for it.
Oh, okay. So they're in the hospital for a few days, and I'm stuck watching the house and walking their cat. You know the one with the patch over its eye. Anyway, I'm walking the cat, and we cut through the Taco Bell parking lot over on Colfax. I know. And right in the middle of the lot, there's this guy in a full clown suit, a very dirty old clown suit, and he's trying to juggle wadded up taco wrappers. The wind is blowing them. He's shouting something about the government taking away his right to watch porn or something. Now, I don't know if you've ever had to calm a cat while paper balls are hitting the ground everywhere, but let me tell you, it's an experience. Anyway, the cat decides he's in for a game, heads straight for the clown, knocks his drunk ass down. The clown shits himself. And the people. They're watching through the window from inside the Taco Bell. They've got their phones out. They're recording all this. So within an hour, one of the videos has over 16,000 streams. Anyway, this lady in a minivan pulls out of the drive-thru next to us. She throws a AA battery out of the window at us and screams, "Free Britney, bitch." I just grab up the cat. He's scratching the shit out of me. I'm walking back to their house as quickly as possible, bleeding from the scratches and squirming like a crackhead with chickenpox trying to hang on to this cat.
Wait. So you telling me I can watch all this online?
Yeah, you can watch it all online, but that's when Diane called me. And I said, fuck it, and just let that demon cat go.
Who's Diane?
Your mom.
My mom is Shirley.
Is this Bobby?
No.
Oh, sorry. Wrong number.
Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, Disposable Heroes. This is the real deal. It's aggressive, intelligent, tightly played chaos that punches you in the face and then apologizes for how good it felt doing it. The cassettes may have melted in your car, but this track alone made it worth it. And oh, what a blessing and a curse those cassettes were. Remember taping over the little hole, putting tape over the little hole so you could record over that shitty Nelson tape you stole from your sister? Or how sometimes the tape deck would just vomit all the tape out, just spew it right out onto the ground. Cassettes would melt, warp, get stuck, break. But you could tape Duran Duran off the radio, god damn it. All right, next up is Leper Messiah, and we're right back in the pit. Right out of the gate, it's heavy, simple, mean, before exploding into that signature chugga chugga that sounds like an 18-wheeler downshifting on its way to hell. Cliff sneaks in underneath with this slippery melodic bass line. It's a nice little reward for those who are listening more closely. But of course, kick drum Kardashian's behind the kit, because he's famous for drama, not the talent. He's filling up every inch of space with cymbal crashes like a toddler playing with the blinds. He's pounding, plodding, crashing, flipping, flopping. I swear the man plays drums like they downloaded his songs illegally. His chaos gives the track this unpredictable tension that somehow maybe makes it better, I guess. Hetfield's vocals are sneering, sharp, full of religious venom, and the whole thing moves like a freight train with loose bolts. You can hear Cliff anchoring the madness, his tone so fat it's practically three-dimensional. And just when you think it's over, Metallica hits you with the fake-out ending. Because of course they do. Nothing says we're artists like making your fans check to see if their stereo broke or something. Okay, Orion. Now this. This is where Metallica proves they're not just angry guys with guitars. They're angry musicians. Orion is 8.5 minutes of instrumental perfection. The kind of track that makes you stare off, wonder if you've been underestimating these dudes all along. It starts off with this fuzzy, distorted bass line from Cliff Burton that rolls in like fog. It's thick, heavy, impossible to ignore. Lars actually behaves himself here, laying down a steady pulse that gives James and Kirk room to breathe. Guitars come in with those unison riffs. It's like metal ballet. It's violent, it's graceful, and it's hypnotic all at once. Then the glorious middle section. A breakdown that somehow sounds both cosmic and deeply human. Cliff takes over that looping melodic bass theme, and Kirk lays down a solo so beautiful it would make Kanye West feel something. Hetfield joins in on the melody, and suddenly it's not just music anymore. It's storytelling. It's emotion, tension, release. For once, Lars McTempo keeps it tasteful, letting the song swell and breathe. As the music climbs back toward its finale, Kirk delivers one more solo because it's contractually required that he gets 2 full solos in each song. And the band closes it out in a swirl of fuzz, fury, and feeling. Orion is the soul of Master of Puppets. And then chaos. Damage Incorporated kicks off with that eerie reversed guitar intro, all whale sounds and apocalyptic reverb, before detonating into pure thrash mayhem. It's fast, mean, tighter than a spandex jumpsuit at a Warrant concert. This is the moment where all the themes of the album, control, destruction, madness, they all get jammed into a single track and played at warp speed. The riffs are razor sharp, the stops surgical. Hetfield sounds absolutely unhinged. You can practically see the spit flying into the mic. Lars, to his credit, is locked in with James here. Cliff's bass is holding everything together, and Kurt's solo is a full-blown DMT experience. Every note feels like it's being ripped out of him like by demons. The whole song feels like it's on the verge of explosion, and it's just brilliant. By the time it ends, you're exhausted, exhilarated, and pretty sure you just survived something. All right. Wrapping this thing up, Master Puppets, it's not an album, it's a goddamn monument. It's the sound of a band at their absolute creative peak, pulling every idea, emotion, and riff from their souls and slamming it into a tape. It's beautiful. A screaming, soaring, crashing masterpiece that redefined what metal could be. Sure, Lars hits everything like a mouthy girlfriend, and yes, Kirk may have personally melted every wah pedal in existence. But together with James and Cliff, they created something special, untouchable. The writing, the arrangements, the ambition, it's all next level. This album didn't just change Metallica, it changed metal. It's smart, aggressive, fearless. And even with all the crashes, clangs, and ego wars, it stands tall as one of the greatest heavy records ever made. Master of Puppets is an album that grabs you by the throat and makes you remember why guitars should be loud, drums should be angry, and bass players should always, always be named Cliff. Hi, I'm Will. Thanks for checking out the show. I'm just popping in here to let you know the show also exists in podcast form, which means you can now hear me mispronounce sitar while staring at traffic. It's in all the places: Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, Amazon, your cousin Zune. You can also find me on Facebook, where people mostly ignore me or just send memes of Bob Dylan riding a dolphin. And if that's not enough, I've added a comment forum to albumreviewsandyou.com, where you can say nice things like, "You're a genius," or honest things like, "You sound like a guy who used to sell mushrooms at fish shows." Either way, I'm reading it from the bathroom.